I think it's safe to say that the Glock 43 was not only one of the most anticipated firearms, it's also one of the more exciting additions to what I would consider the combative pistol arena. So it only makes sense, Arthur, that you would introduce a trigger connector that not only smooths the trigger, but also adds reduced over travel capability, and that is called the Pro connector.
We like the eliminating over travel.
Right.
Because as everyone knows, any serious pistol rifle, for any serious purposes, if you eliminate the over travel, you make sure you don't torque the firearm off the line of sight or off the line of target. And we wanted to make the best possible trigger for the 42, 43 series because they are outstanding pistols. And we came up with a Pro that has a trigger control tab.
Now, that trigger control tab, though it looks like the ones on the larger series connectors, you don't reduce the material on it the same way, do you?
No, on this one, the regular connector, here's the face of it. You gradually shorten it until the pistol fires.
Right.
On this one, what we found out, if you use that same concept, the connector is thinner than the standard connectors.
Right.
And what ends up happening, if you bias that trigger bar against the connector, it torsions it.
Oh, okay.
So what we had to do is we had to think outside the box, and now what you do is you gradually shorten the height until the pistol fires.
Right.
So now the trigger bar, it's the same effect. The trigger bar simply stops on a ledge and eliminates over travel.
Right. Now, I can tell you folks, when you look at the Pro connector, you're going to look at that trigger control tab and you're going to say, really? Does that little bit mean that much difference? And I had to be honest with you, I was skeptical until I had Arthur fit mine. It makes a big difference in the trigger of that little gun. It makes it much more shootable, and of course, when you make it more shootable, you're much more likely to get that first critical hit in a pistol fight.
Yeah, I'd say I tend to be prone to understatement.
Right.
The difference is dramatic.
It actually is. So if you're interested in more information on the Glock 4243 Pro connector, please check in at www.ghostinc.com.